And I'm just gonna say, that vegan teacher's fucking nuts. Cause she's going on about, and this happened 7 minutes ago. It's only got 67 views on it. From him, from the Omni King, about her. She attacked Call Me Chris again. Don't know why. This has been going on for way too long. And how she's apparently a danger to children. I haven't gotten to that part yet. I'm like 9.5 minutes through this video. But I had to make a response, like, about this particular part of the video. Where she's talking about you're born vegan. You can return to your roots. You're born vegan. Do we not recall, like, how the vast majority of hominid species, every single one, just about, during their evolution, were either hunter-gatherers, i.e. facultative carnivores, they ate mostly meat, and they supplemented with vegetation when meat was not an option, or were almost like they were the closest thing you could find to 50-50 omnivores, where they ate 50%, 50 to 70% vegetation, fruits, nuts, stuff like that, and small animals. Like, do we not remember that part of evolutionary history? Like, we have scientific data from extractions of their teeth and bones that gave us definitive, or almost definitive, we don't really have the names of the plants and stuff they ate, but we have an idea of what plants and what proteins from animals they had taken in, and just how much of that, based off of what was in their body at the time, they likely ate. On top of that, the environment. The ones that had more access to vegetation ate a lot more vegetation because it was just readily accessible. But when vegetation wasn't that prevalent, think Homo sapiens, us, and I think I said that right. I'm not all that here. But then on top of that, the Neanderthals. Our ancestral roots ate mostly plants during the winter, roughly 30%, and then the rest of that was hunter-gatherer, like, or traveling nomadic, where they would hunt meat for the vast majority while it was available, which is most of the year. And then when migration periods happen, they would have to supplement because they're walking. They're following the herds, but they're not there. Like, they're trying to catch up to them so that they can hunt again. So they ate a lot of berries along the way. They scavenged for roughage during those periods. Like, it is an evolutionary thing. It is historical. It is proven fact. And that vegan teacher's like, oh, you were born vegan. Go back to your roots. Like, bitch, what? I mean, I guess if you're from one of those, like, evolutionary branches, but, like, I don't think you are. I think you're more Homo sapien and Neanderthal than anything. But that being said, also she mentioned how you wouldn't eat a bunny if there was a bunny and a banana in the same room. You would want to protect the bunny. Okay, I can get that. We're not gonna bite into the rabbit, like, ew, fur in your mouth, that's gross. People don't do that. However, there's a reason we have to teach kids to be nice to animals. There's a reason we have to teach kids to be nice to animals. Because kids are gonna be kids, and they're gonna be trying to hit dogs and cats right off the bat. Like, sometimes kids are just extra sweet. You get lucky. But every kid I've dealt with, I've had to be like, hey, don't. No, we're not gonna hit the dog with sticks. We're not gonna go hit the horse with rocks. Like, that's not. We don't do that. Knock it off. No. It's not appropriate. That being said, when is it appropriate? Oh, I don't know. When you're planning on fucking eating it? I mean, I'm not out here saying eat your dog and cat. Like, that's just, no. First of all, gross. I don't, I mean, I guess, like, if you're low on food, I mean, sure, but, like, not many places are that low on food where you're gonna have to eat a dog. Just saying. But when you go out with your rifle and you kill a deer, you're respecting that animal for the food and things that it's given you. You're gonna use every part of that animal, right down to the bone and hide. And then you're gonna have like 200 pounds of meat and you're not gonna have to kill again for several months. Do you know how many animals are killed and how much of the ecosystem is fucked up in just one season of crop yield because of supply and demand for vegan foods? Do you know how much pesticide is having to be used, or how much non-chemical means have to be used in order to rid those fields of bugs, rabbits, rodents of all kinds, including any of the predatory animals such as foxes, coyotes, badgers, that might use those fields to feed themselves? Hundreds of thousands in one season for one type of crop. We're not talking about all the crops grown in the year. Like, let's just say out of the corn, just corn, just from one farm, mind you, it's hundreds that are killed just to feed vegan their freaking corn foods. Like, what their foods contain corn. And just non-vegan items, like, you know, oh, well I do eat meat, but I like my corn. Okay. But the fact that vegans require more of this stuff means that more land has to now be tilled, more of it has to be prepared, more of it has to be propagated, and then again, mowed down because now they're harvesting. It's hundreds of thousands of animals a year, including the little insects, including whatever little creepy crawlies you come across. But it's sustainable. But it's cruelty-free. That whole shit on freaking veganism being cruelty-free is a bunch of shit. It is not. I'm sorry. It's not. You have to do so much for farming that it is next to impossible to make it 100% cruelty-free. You might not be eating animals anymore, sure, but you're still having to till land, and you're ruining an ecosystem even more for the sake of your food. You can't make a field without tilling a couple of animals in the process. Like, I hate to break it to you, but those cute bunnies you be preaching about, yeah, a tractor just mowed over them. Or fire just burned their homes off. Or they were suffocated to death because someone decided that they needed to kill certain things to make the land safe to grow in, so that the food didn't get eaten by said insects or rodents or cute little baby bunnies. Like, it makes no damn sense to me. And I'm not even for cruel farming methods. How the dairy industry works, some dairy farmers, they should be charged with how they treat those cows. Like, I'm just gonna put that out there. There is definitely cruelty in some parts of the industry when it comes to meat and non-vegan foods. Definitely. I'm not condoning that. However, to generalize everybody who farms for meat or hunts for meat to feed themselves, that you're all cruel bastards for doing what you do. You're all mean. You all are animal abusers. Like, no. No. When I shoot the deer that I plan on eating, I make sure that I take time to give praise to that animal. And I use every last part of that animal. And I make sure that whatever I can't use is given back to the earth. That's just my tradition. And I make sure that it has a quick, easy death. Usually straight through the heart. They drop in 2 seconds. I'm not out here hacking at their limbs and making sure they suffer and it takes 5 minutes to fucking die. That's messed up. And YouTube might flag me for this because I've said several words. I don't care. I really don't. Given what frickin' vegan teacher said about kids and genitalia. Like, come on. You can't be saying that shit about kids in your videos. You're a teacher, and you've mentioned a lollipop, and you've compared you've compared putting barbecue sauce on a penis to your cause and letting a kid eat. Like, why'd you say that? Ribs are not the same as dicks. Like, you can't just be out here saying, oh, you give a baby barbecued ribs and he will eat it. You put that same barbecue on a penis and he will eat it. He doesn't know the difference. Like, bitch, what? What? Why are you saying that? That's disgusting. The fact that you would even make that analogy is disgusting. You shouldn't be a teacher. If that's the analogies you're coming up with, you're disgusting. You're perverted. The fact, like, even the thought, like, as a parent, I would vote you off. I would bring that to the school board. As a parent, if my kids went to your school, you wouldn't be an English teacher for very much longer. Would not. Ever. I would make sure you're suspended and your teaching license is never given back to you. Like, that's disgusting. That you would even go as to say something like that. That's disgusting. But to sit here and say, like, some false information about return to your vegan roots, like, bitch, what vegan roots? Humans are born with a gut that is designed to consume both meat and plant matter, and even then, our gut isn't fully designed, nor very good at digesting plant matter. Which is why most plant matter comes out in your poop pretty much the same way it went in. Like, corn comes out whole. What? Corn comes out whole. And you're telling me my gut is designed to fully digest that. That is my roots as a person. If I have stringy pieces of kale coming out in my shit, that means my body did not properly digest this. But I know for a damn fact, I am not getting whole pieces of meat coming out in my poop. I could probably eat small bits of bone and it be mostly digested. More so than the freaking corn I ate. I mean, it's safe to say you're just spewing bullshit and you don't know a damn thing about human biology. Veganism has nothing to do with any of that. It is a lifestyle choice based on your health needs. The rate at which I would decline if I ate a purely vegan or mostly vegan diet, like if I reduced my meat consumption by 50% of what I use right now, because right now I'm at almost 75% meat consumption. Like, that's my diet. I am a facultative carnivore diet. Biological diet. to what I require, based off of my background and my health needs. 75% meat. That means 25% of that is not meat. It is some form of carbohydrate or plant matter. Usually spring mix. I like my arugula, my kale, my spinach in a salad. On top of that, fruits, nuts, oats, potatoes, and I believe that's it. 25% of my diet is all of those things. 75% of my diet is meat. Why? Again, health concerns. If I do not eat enough meat in a day, I will start to have very noticeable health problems. My iron dips very low. I know when my iron's low and I might need some meat, some red meat. Because I feel lightheaded, dizzy, I'm tired. So I have to eat more red meat and have more meat in general in my diet to get the full consumption of iron that I can. Iron from plant matter does not help me none. I barely digest it, barely get any benefit out of it. It's non-heme iron. Your body is not good at absorbing that. And mine is exceptionally not good at absorbing that. So I have to go for heme iron, which is only in meat. So if you're vegan, either you're vegan by choice and you've taken healthy consideration and thought through your health needs and you have considered it, like you've weighed on this and you've considered that you being vegan is a lot better and a lot safer for you and more beneficial to your health and your health needs and concerns than having meat in your diet. If you are partial vegan, meaning a whole lot less meat, you probably only eat chicken or fish, or whatever meat of your choice, you've noticed that you have probably thought through the idea that being fully vegan would not benefit you health-wise, or is not the best option for you based off of your health needs and goals. The other option of you being vegan is that you were bullied into it, or you're some militant vegan. And you have no clue how to be vegan or what it means to be vegan and the possible health concerns that come with it. You are just vegan because save the animals. You are not vegan because of any health concerns that you have. You are not vegan because it is better for your lifestyle and health goals and needs. And you are the type of person, like vegan teacher, that's going to preach about, oh, you're an animal abuser, if you eat meat. Or you feed your carnivore pets, like a cat, vegan cat food. Which, by the way, is also not healthy. For your poor cat. Like, I feel... There have been so many, like, I saw one from the Omni King that he covered. Some dude let his cat, he basically killed the cat by default. Because this cat was not getting the dietary nutrition it needed to live a healthy life. And it fucking died. Your dog couldn't even live that way. Dogs might have evolved with us over the years to be able to accommodate plant matter a little bit better, but they're still facultative carnivores. They can only supplement with vegetation. They can't thrive on vegetation because their gut is not designed to properly break it down in its full entirety. You know who is? Herbivores. And here's a fun one for you, vegan teacher. Not all herbivores are obligate. Just gonna say that much. Not all herbivores are obligate. Have you ever seen a deer chewing on a rabbit? Have you ever seen a cow chewing on a snake? fucking eating the damn thing. Slurping it like spaghetti. Yeah. Yeah, your cow is also eating meat. Your giraffes will fucking chew on bones if they're low on calcium. And they'll even take the meat off some of the bones if they're deficient in certain other things. But you want to talk about being vegan. Like, bitch, even the herbivores you preach about aren't even fully vegan. They're not herbivores in their entirety. They're literally they're facultative herbivores. There's 5 types. Well, no. Yeah, 5 types. There's obligate, herbivore, facultative herbivore. Obligate is obviously they can eat only plant matter. Facultative means that they might need to get some of their nutrition from meat. And when times are hard, they will resort to just chewing on a damn bird. I'm not joking. Like, I've seen a cow do it. I've seen a deer do it. It's fucking weird. Because you don't expect it. And then there's omnivores. Which, it's not really a 50-50. It's anywhere between 40 to 60% is meat or plant. And it's kind of balanced that way. But then there's facultative carnivore, which is someone or something that anywhere from 75 to 90% of their diet is meat consumption. And the rest is grazing on roughage. And then there's obligate carnivore. They cannot have anything plant-wise. Their guts just aren't designed to eat it, and it'll come out the same way it goes in. Like, point blank period, or they'll throw it up. Because they just can't digest it, and it upsets their stomach. So, that being said, why does that vegan teacher feel the need to be so factually wrong for her cause? You would have an easier time getting people on your side if you were operating in an educated fashion. In a non-confrontational fashion, like, oh my god, lady, you are nuts. You are bonkers. I'm sorry, that vegan teacher, she is just off her rocker 24/7 when it comes to the cause of being vegan. More people would listen to you if you weren't a fucking psycho about it. If you weren't out here being a bitch about it. Like, come on. You are attacking people for their life choice. If you told me to go only eat plants, I would be in the hospital every couple weeks getting a blood transfusion because I cannot function on only plants. Health-wise, it doesn't work for me. And I'm pretty sure health-wise, it doesn't work for a lot of other people. It just doesn't. Like, sorry to say, but you can't, it is not abusive to animals. How you go about consuming animals and how you get your food is what can constitute abuse. If you're clubbing an animal to death and you have a better means of taking that animal and killing it for food that is quicker and more painless and just basically almost instant death, if you had a more effective means that wasn't like clubbing, then you should use it. I don't care if you have to take a knife to the jugular, or I don't know, one shot to the head, or through the lung, like something quick when hunting or taking this animal's life, because that animal's life is sacred. The animal's life is sacred, yes. And you should respect that life when hunting or when culling in sense of farming. You should respect that life you are taking in your hands for your food. Which is why I also get upset when she talks about veganism is the most sustainable and less harmful to animals and it's not abusive at all to animals. Like, bitch, no. Your farming methods that require tilling, preparing, possibly even burning, and all this just to prepare a field for planting, is killing hundreds of thousands of animals every single year, if not millions, if you want to include all the little creepy crawlies. From two-legged, from no-legged, we'll talk about some fucking legless lizards and snakes if you want to. If you want to include the no-legged up to, I don't know, centipede, I don't know how many legged animals. Millions are killed every year for your food. Just to propagate and harvest. And then re-prepare that field for the next season. Lady, get some damn sense and leave people the fuck alone. You're not getting anywhere. What are you, in your 60s? And if you're not in your 60s, I think your diet's making you look older. Or either that, all the stress from having to call people out and harass them and getting so upset by their opinions. All that stress. Yeah, lady, if you're not 60, that's making you look 60. Like, fuck. I've never actually been so upset with a YouTuber before, like, ever. Like, it doesn't bother me normally. But this type of topic actually genuinely bothers me. Like, you're bringing children into the mix, and in such a disgusting, perverted manner. You are a disgusting, lonely woman. You know that, right? You are so lonely that you feel the need to attack people to prove a point. Without actually ever providing facts that are provable, nor science-based. You have referenced studies in the past that, funny enough, were disputed. There's so many discrepancies in those studies. Omni King has covered it before. I think you've personally attacked him also. The studies you've referenced, like, you're not even providing good reference material, my lady. Honey, you're not even providing good reference material. The studies were biased, contradictory of themselves, had such a small study group, no control, no parameters properly set to guide the study in an appropriate manner. And so as a result, and not to mention the short study time, the short research time given, made it so that those studies were useless. Any results gotten, useless. Just useless. Because they weren't done right. In order to have a proper study, you have to have... Let me give an example of a bad study. I mean, you should already know, you read a couple for your own benefit to prove a point. But I'm going to give one anyways. I'm trying to do a study. Oh, shit. Hold on. I'm back. So, to give an example of a study, I'm trying to do a study on whether or not a vegan diet is good for cats. Okay, we're gonna use cats. Because they're obligate carnivores, let's see, whether or not an obligate carnivore such as a cat can benefit whatsoever from a vegan diet. In my group that I am doing this study on is of a small handful of about 100 cats. Only 10% of those cats are on vegan diets. they've only been on their diets, all of them, have only, like all 100 have only been on their diets for 6 months, including the vegan-fed cats, have only been on their diets for 6 months. I have no control group, and the study is only going on for 2 weeks. That study is going to prove me nothing. I'm going to see that there is no change in the vegan cats, nor am I going to see a change in the non-vegan cats in 2 weeks. Not health-wise. Not anything health-wise that relates to their diet. Nothing. Also keep in mind, none of these cats have a similar age, similar breed. It's just all discombobulated, all mixed in. You got cats from 8 weeks old to 18 years old. And you've got everything from a Siamese to a freaking Sphinx. It's a shit study. Not gonna prove me anything. In fact, any results I do get, I can throw out the window. Might as well not even write that research paper. And then the next group is a group of, it's a little bit bigger. I'm just giving random numbers here, but it's a more accurate study. 1,000 cats, all of which are between the ages of 1 year and 3 years old. So a good age group. That's a similar age group. That's a good age group. And then on top, so you could probably split, I'd even split the ages, maybe split the ages a little bit, or I'd say 1 to 2 years old. Well, 1,000 cats, 1 to 2 years old. The breeds are American Shorthair, American Longhair. Just a variant of the same breed. American Shorthair, American Longhair. And a percentage of them, roughly 40%, are vegan. So I have a larger, that's 400 cats of the 1,000 that are vegan fed. And this study is going to go on for 3 years. And I have a control group of cats where everything is kept consistent. That is going to be a more accurate study because I've got the control group, I've got a set age, I've got a set breed, I've got a good study time, and a good percentage of the group that I'm trying to really get a read off of, which is the benefit of veganism in cats. But you're over here referencing studies that are shit. No control, no nothing. Just random. I just can't get over the kids thing. How many times have you referenced children? You're disgusting. How you treat people, disgusting. The people that support you, your daughter, the Australian girl, disgusting. Y'all need to get a life and leave other people out of it. My dietary choice does not affect you. My dietary choice affects me. Me only. Okay? If I were to be vegan, I'd be dead. For health reasons. I cannot be vegan. And for health reasons, a lot of people cannot be vegan. And not to mention how unhealthy vegans actually are. How deficient in certain vitamins and nutrients they actually are. You have a good day. Had to answer a phone call. Actually, goodbye now.